Hello there. Welcome to the Rocket Ridge Rusty Show. This is episode number 12. And in episode number 12, I'm going to teach you how to use the power saw and make small notches out of a 2x4 piece of wood. Hope you enjoy. Now to get started here, we're gonna get a 2x4 scrap piece of wood from the Rocket Ridge Rusty pile over there. We're gonna get it on our bench, right? We're gonna take the square and the tape measure and a pencil, of course, and we're gonna go ahead and make a small notch. Okay, now this is a very hard skill to learn, so practice and be safe out there when you're working on this kind of projects. So this notch we're gonna make out of a 2x4 is it's useful for whatever you're crafting or making, when you don't want to set up all the other tools. You keep in mind that when you master the power saw, you can do just about anything with a piece of wood. Alright, so we're gonna set up those things I was just talking about, okay? First things first, I'm gonna make something to cut on and scribe on. So I got my 2x4 and something to mark it out on. We're going to go ahead and get this marked for you. Now we're going to go ahead and make a small notch out of this thing, okay? So let's get our total measurement. We got about 31. 15 and a half. Okay, that's going to be our center. Okay. Let's go ahead and make a 2-inch notch. Okay. So I'm going to mark 1, over there 1, and my center is at 1, and then 2. So we're going to have a total of a 2-inch notch here, okay? We're going to cut it in. We're going to cut it into that 2x4 there about, let's just cut it 1 inch, just keep it simple, okay? Let's go ahead and square those lines now. We're going to get the square out. Go get your square, okay? Make a note. Go ahead and use your pencil. Make sure you got a good, nice point on that pencil. Okay, so now we're gonna square this line. I'm just doing it this way because I can. You might want to square it a little bit. I use my eyes. I'm gonna make it look good. Okay, so that's 1 inch. That's 1 inch. So this is our mark. Now I'm gonna lift the wood up here so I get my mark all the way around. I want to get it all the way around. Just you do whatever you. This is good skills here. You want to mark it all the way around. Now we got our mark all the way around. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mark it all the way around on the other side now. Okay, it was 1 inch, right? About 1 inch. So we're going to take 1 inch. We're going to take 1 inch there. We're going to take 1 inch here. Sometimes it's helpful to make a little check mark. A little check mark make it a little easier for you. I'm going to go ahead and square that line. Square that line real good, okay? And then you're going to go ahead and square these lines. Okay. Okay. This is what we're cutting out here. Let me show you up close. We got this line here. It goes all the way around that 2x4. Okay, it's going to be our 1 inch notch. We're going to cut this now. Now, before we go ahead and cut that notch out, I want to just tell you something here. Okay, so you're going to set your blade. You're going to unplug it, right? So be safe out there. Again, you're out there in the trees in the forest, working out there and cutting up that wood. That's right. Yep. So you're going to take that power saw. You're going to raise the guard. You're going to unplug it, right? No power. To safety first. You're going to set that blade. I'm going to show you. You're going to see what I'm talking about. But you're going to set that blade to the depth of your notch, okay? So in this case, it's 1 inch. You could, if your power tool is unplugged, there's no power, you could use your tape measure and you could set the blade to 1 inch, or you can eyeball it and set it up against your piece of wood and you can mark it out. That's the way I'm going to be doing it in this video. Okay, so you're going to watch me set the blade to a depth of 1 inch, which is the notch we are cutting out of the 2x4 piece of wood. And then I am going to make the cuts, and I'm going to show you how to make this notch. Okay, let's get this going here for you. All right. We're going to go ahead and get that power saw out. Yep. So we raise the guard, right? And I'm going to set the depth here. I'm going to unlock the depth. Okay, and I'm going to set my depth to the notch. Okay, now you want to make sure your guard is sitting right. You want to make sure the guard is sitting on the wood. Then you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna lock it in. Lock it in, okay? Let me get you up there and see the blade. Okay, this is a tricky shot here I'm trying to show you. I don't know if I can do it one hand here while it's plugged in, but you see the line and you see the blade, so we know we good. We know we good to make that cut there. Okay, we got the depth set. Okay. Okay, all right, be careful out there. All right, watch your hands, watch your hands. We'll try to get the camera up here. So here's our notch again. We got it, still got the blade set to the depth. Okay, we're gonna cut this out. All right, that's our piece. We're gonna cut this out. You got it? You see what I'm coloring in here? We're gonna cut that out real good. Okay. Now watch how I do this method here, and you're gonna learn a new trick with the power saw. So we're going to start making our cuts. All right, so I made a straight pass with the power saw on either side. I stayed on the line so that my cut is right where I want it to be. Okay, now I'm going to show you this piece of wood, then we're going to finish making this notch. Okay, let's take a look at this thing here. Can you see my scribble scrabble? That's the notch, right? Okay, so that's the notch that we are cutting out. I'm trying to work two hands here with the camera. Okay, you got it? So that was the start of it. Okay, you hold your 2x4 firm with your hand you are not cutting with. You work on a sturdy table, bench top. Okay, these are all your notes. Okay, you take a note of these things and you practice them, and you will be making notches and using that power saw for all different ways that you might not have ever thought you could. Okay, so the Rocket Ridge Rusty Show, that's what we're all about here. We're all about, you got to learn this stuff so you can be a craftsman. Okay, crafty man. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, let's get this cut now. So what I'm gonna do now, because this notch is a small notch, right? So it's smaller than the blade. What I mean is the size of the blade. So the size of the blade is not gonna let me cut this way, right? The blade is too big. It's just too big. It's gonna just cut past my notch. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make passes on this notch, and I'm gonna clean out the wood. Okay, check this out. Learn it. It's something you didn't know about. Now, let me go ahead and get you up close to see what I just did, okay? So I hope you can see this. This is what I'm talking about. We ran the blade, okay? So our blade never went past our line, okay? Now this is really cool, okay? So the way I could get the rest of this out is I could use a chisel, right? Let me go get that and show you. You could just take a chisel and you can just kind of break it apart, okay? Now look at that, okay? See it just coming apart? Look. See how I'm not even using a lot of force there. I'm being very gentle. You could put a little force in it, or you could be gentle, okay? Now look what I'm left with. Check that out. There's your notch, okay? We used just a few tools to make that. We didn't go crazy and set up 100 tools there, okay? We didn't need to do that. You know, if you're making a mailbox post, or you need something, a post in a deck, or you need a post for a tree house or whatever, you know, a bamboo wood house or something, you could just use a couple tools, right? You could make it look nicer with the sandpaper and the sander, all different other tools, but you know, for something more basic, you know, just open and close, you got it. You know what I mean? Now, if I want to make this a little bit cleaner, what I'm going to do is, because the guard is wide enough, okay? the guard is wider than my notch. So I'm going to go ahead and just make a couple passes, and I'm going to clean this up and make it a smooth notch without the use of sandpaper. Go back to the chisel, just clean it up a little bit. Okay, you can sit here all day long, if you want. Spend some time with the chisel, you know, have a little bit of relaxation time, you know, because using the chisel is supposed to be relaxing. Okay, you should never be stressed when you have a chisel in your hand. Okay, let me get you a little closer. Okay, I'll show you what I'm talking about. See? Using a sharp chisel. And I'm just cleaning it out. Okay. Now let's go ahead and get the tape measure so I can show you the accuracy. See? We said we were going to make a 2-inch notch, right? It's 2 inches. See that? See? Whoa. Okay, enough fun there. And we made it 1 inch. See, it's 1 inch. See, it's exactly 1 inch. Okay, so that came out pretty cool. All right, so we're gonna just wrap this up in a quick summary here. What you learned, episode 12, Rocket Ridge Rusty Show. We learned how to cut a small notch out of a 2x4 with a power saw, and we used a chisel to clean it up. Okay, so some of the tips you should take with you watching this video is that, you know, when you have a small notch and the blade is too big on your power saw, you can still make that notch. You know, you make multiple passes. You can clean up the wood the rest with the chisel. You cut the wood small, you have that flexibility, right? The thickness of the blade is actually pretty thick. Okay, just remember, you always unplug your power cord when you're making adjustments to your saw. You always have total control of that piece of wood, firm, fastened, secure. Use your hand that you're not using the power saw with, and hold that piece of wood safely. Okay, this is a very important video if you are trying to learn to master your skills with the power saw. So again, I'm going to show you the notch up close. This has been episode 12, and we made a small notch out of a 2x4 block of wood with a power saw and a few other basic tools. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it is helpful. This is episode 12, cutting a small notch with the power tools. Have a good rest of your day.